I mean, they gotta make the money back somehow.
All right, we're live and we're randomly rambling here.
That's fine. Everybody can watch me do my makeup.
Emily's doing makeup. Barry's getting the rambling going.
So. No, I mean that's the one thing I think
we're talking about hours, by the way.
Disney has done right. It is staggering the hours, but our only thing, and I think Emily is with me on this, is like they never expand Hollywood Studios hours, which makes me question: do they need all those hours every night to fix Rise?
Well, not to name names, I do have a friend that works Rise, and she even she did an early release yesterday, and she was like, "I'm just so tired. I've been here since 5:45 in the morning," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Why have you been there that early?" And she's like, "We have to get here at 5:45 to open by 10," and I'm like, "Holy crap!" So I don't know what it is with Rise that they have to get there that early to get that ride open.
It's got to be that Rise is still having issues, and that is why
it went down 3 times when I was there for 2 hours yesterday. So
they never expand the park hours at that park. That's the only park they don't. It's 9 to 7 every day.
Yeah,
and it's got to be the maintenance on Rise and cycle. And if they have to come in, if they're, from what we've heard from some people, how early they come in, that means they have to have that ride cycling.
That's what I think she was saying. Like, that's
for
what
hours.
She meant. Like, they have to cycle for hours just to get it operational. But then I kind of think okay, so you're cycling it for hours, and then by 10-11 it goes down because you've been cycling it for hours.
Well, we do know like Disneyland in California, Disneyland Resort. They've been cycling the rides every day.
Yeah.
When Disney World closed, they weren't cycling the rides. And that's one of the things, like some people have said, why so many attractions have had since opening have had so much downtime, because they weren't cycling the rides while the park was closed. And some of those rides, you can't just let them sit for months.
No, because they'll literally just shut down.
You like that, Johnny? It's not as spooky as your backdrop, but it's spooky. I found a place for my my Plague Doctor mask, which is awesome. And then over here, I got the Fright Nights poster, and right below it, I want to put the they came out with it at the Tribute Store last year, the pinball one, the pinball HHN poster. I'm going to put that right underneath it because I really like that. I like that poster. So, anyways.
Do it.
And I don't think this is going to be I wanted to get my my Canon, my SLR up for the camera because I still have the Logitech. But I need to play around with... it's not a competition. I know. It's so... Yeah. We're getting a makeup tutorial, Johnny. We're getting a studio and makeup tutorial at the same time.
I ain't gonna be on camera. I'm looking like a ghoul, so...
So we're just gonna
I'm gonna stop when we start recording.
Well, you take your time. We're just kind of chit-chatting, pre-show chit-chat.
Pre-show tutorial.
Want to make sure both eyes are done properly.
God. Imagine I just do one eye. All the freaking day.
But and then what are we going to talk about today?
Makeup, duh.
Makeup. Emily's doing a makeup tutorial.
Hey, Michael. This is the whole podcast.
Hello again, sir. How are you doing?
Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, what are we going to talk about? We are going to be talking, obviously, more WandaVision. Episode 7 and 8 we're going to be chatting about later on. We'll do that at the end of the recording, as usual.
So we don't hurt anyone's feelings.
So we don't hurt your feelings and spoil anything. We're going to talk about Disney World 50th, Peppa Pig. Some Peppa Pig news.
Peppa freaking Pig.
I never thought I'd be saying this, but we're going to be talking Peppa Pig. And
well, we never thought we'd talk about like Britney Spears on the podcast before, and I ruined that for everyone. So
we're slowly diving into what's the word I'm looking for? Alternate topics here on the ThrillGeek Podcast.
It's interesting. Legoland trying to take more days, I mean, even though I think
it was interesting though that like it's its own park.
another admission ticket.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. And Emily went to Food and Wine.
Did.
At Epcot.
Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Congratulations, it's September.
One of the Food and Wine festivals we have.
September, August is when it'll start.
I want 2021 to be over already. But yeah, Emily went to Food and Wine down at Busch Gardens in Tampa, so we'll let her chat about that for a few minutes.
I had too much sugar.
And I'm going to do some rapid fire things right here at the beginning, out some Universal stuff, the Velocicoaster, and the new Universal Studios store.
Blue Man Group dying.
I didn't add that into the slideshow, but we can talk about that. Blue Man Group coming to an end. Well, didn't we talk about did we ever talk about the announcement? I can't remember.
I don't think
I don't remember.
I don't think
anymore.
we did. Well, we could talk about it.
All right.
So, all right.
I think Emily is ready.
No, she's not, but it's fine. We can keep going.
All right, guys. Give me a few minutes and we're going to get rocking and rolling here, all right? Doot. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ThrillGeek Podcast. I'm Clint.
I'm Barry.
I'm Emily.
Are you done with your makeup?
No.
No.
But it can wait.
We're gonna be going here. We got lots to talk about.
It's early.
Yeah, this
I
is
only
the
woke
earliest.
up an hour ago.
You're welcome. This is my doing.
This is the earliest we've recorded a podcast. 11 o'clock in the morning.
I'm still in bed, so
He is still
Barry. For those of you watching the live stream, Barry's not out of bed yet. So, but we.
I mean, he put on his glasses. He put on his hat. He's here. He's present.
anyone who watches these live streams know that I do this in literal different locations around the apartment.
It's always a surprise.
He has like a roulette wheel, and he like spins it, and then he's like, "Ooh, bathroom."
That will hopefully in a month and a half change.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed when I have my own studio. So
Barry's in the works of becoming a homeowner.
Good luck, friend.
And then hopefully it'll be even more after that once we get everybody here because of all my hard work with this new setup. So, anyways,
virus given.
Yeah.
Once we all have a vaccine.
Dear Lord.
I'm going to kick this up here, and we're going to dive right into it because we do have a lot to talk about. Yeah, Michael says it's 8:18 in the morning over there in California. Well, good morning, sir. Thank you for getting out of bed and tuning into the podcast, Michael. You're dedicated. I appreciate you. I really do. I wish more people would be like you.
The dedication is real.
So, like I said, first things first. I'm going to, if it shows up here, I'm trying this new slideshow thing. There we go.
Yay.
More walls came down around Velocicoaster, giving us our best view yet of the ride. And they were the construction walls where the bars were in the paddock area. So I went out there on, what was it, Wednesday? Wednesday? Earlier this week.
Something like
Let's leave it at that. And I went out there and I got some pictures and some video. They were running it. They were running test runs. Unfortunately, when I got there, and this is the luck of the draw with me, I swear, when it comes to getting any kind of video of a ride testing, I get there and it stops. So I'm there waiting, and it took about an hour and a half, and they finally started cycling trains. And this coaster is just, it's beautiful. Like, it's Universal.
We love her.
Yeah, Universal did such an amazing job with the theming of this ride, the mountains. This was kind of our first look at some of the plant life around the coaster, and it looks really, what's the word I'm looking for? Natural. Like when some parks build a coaster, they just plop down some plants and some trees. This looks the plant life that they went with actually looks like it fits in. It's part of the area. It was done really well.
Yeah, I mean, it was with this one, and then of course also with Hagrid's, they've really shown that how well they can landscape. I really feel like with this one and Hagrid's, they've really taken their landscaping, basically scene making around a coaster, really to a new level.
I mean, I'm just the chaos agent though, where I overanalyze everything, and I'm like, okay, so this is supposed to be a raptor paddock, right? Why did they install like a jagged rock mountain for the Velocicoasters to play in?
Can't Velociraptors jump really far?
Yeah.
They're like, you pointy rock, go.
And apparently the eggs are up here on the mountaintop. I don't know if that's gonna. Nobody knows what the story of Velocicoaster.
I mean, I figured it's just like chaos in Jurassic World, and they're like, be a great idea for a future attraction if we just bought a roller coaster track and just installed it in the middle of the Velocicoaster paddock, because that's not a bad idea.
I saw
I think that's what it is.
I saw some crazy theory of like somebody said the train is supposed to have like a force field around it or something, so the raptors don't hurt you or something. I was like, what?
Well, maybe then we shouldn't build a roller coaster in a Velocicoaster.
And I think the thing that impresses me the most about this attraction is just like how it looks at night, and that
the colors,
the lighting package that they've gone to, and the theming they've even we've seen so far with night. So it's albeit fingers crossed the park is actually open late enough this summer to experience this at night.
I feel like they're gonna have to with crowd levels for this thing.
I think that's their hope, and I think that's why they're not opening they're not opening it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Or at the minimum, we may get technical rehearsals for a month or two before they do. It's hard to gauge, because it's like do you really want to do a big grand opening in the middle of all this
or
right
you could
now?
Just pretty much do it like Hagrid's and just be like, oh, we open, get in line, fight to the death for it.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing with the coaster, with Velocicoaster, is Universal's advertising summer 2021, and
I don't think that's going to happen.
Usually summer 2021 means when a theme park says summer 2021.
I mean, technically summer doesn't begin till June 20th.
I know, but usually with a theme park, summer means Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, but didn't they do the same stuff with like Fast and Furious? And I swear that opened in like April or May.
Well,
I can't remember.
So
they I mean, they just sort of. No, I think that one was always spring.
Was it?
But yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, we know. They're going through testing. Icebreaker's going through testing. We know Ratatouille is done.
Ratatouille just sitting back there waiting.
Yeah, it's just sitting back. We know they filmed commercials on it.
Yep.
So we know it's running. And from what I heard, it's cycling. They're cycling it on a regular basis. So.
I mean, I figured when they opened up those back walls that, they were pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen, and I happened to be on Skyliner, saw them filming commercials back there. So, it's just, there's almost no point to open an attraction right now. And that's the thing. I mean, if you look right now, like look at spring break, look how filled up the hotels are, which is, for us as locals is a little scary.
We're all just going to bunker down.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen how much like Disney has expanded their hours, and Universal, will probably continue to add more hours, which I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing in the fact that Universal's being a little bit more flexible with their hours of adding when they see that, that the crowd level is a certain level. Mm-hmm. So, but I think we're all excited.
We'll have to see. It'll be interesting because this thing's ready to go. I mean, aside from some cosmetic things in the back of the ride, because this is literally the first half of the coaster. This part, the back part where the entrance is, maybe they got some landscape. I don't know how the queue is coming along, because obviously I can't see it. But this thing's ready to go. So are they just gonna like get to a point where they're just going to let it sit there until May, or are we, there's
And I think they're worried too. I mean, it is an Intamin coaster. Hagrid
So there we go.
Hagrid didn't get to do the amount of cycling that I'm sure they wanted it to do before opening because they had a hard date. This they don't, and I'm sure we've seen 4 train operation, which I guess
they've been cranking trains out on this thing.
So it's the more break-in time you get on an Intamin coaster, the better it is. The better it's going to run on a regular basis. So.
And I don't think this ride's as technically advanced as Hagrid's is. So
no.
But still, like you said, it's an Intamin. So the more testing, the better. So all right, moving on. We got some. I don't know why my keyboard's not working. I'll have to figure.
No more
out.
Barney.
Barney's gone.
Now we can't hear that really awful joke every time you try to go back there for a maze every year.
Yeah.
Did you know this is the scariest thing here? Barney's so scary.
All the people talking about during Halloween Horror Nights.
I will. I will say this. I never watched that show. Not that I ever wanted to, but I never did go see the show.
I mean, I was that demographic age. Like, I will call myself a baby right now. Like, that was meant for my age group back, when that show first started. So I remember seeing it as a kid. I don't remember ever going back, like, as an adult, unless it was, like, a group of friends, like, jokingly getting a picture with Barney. But... I mean, from what I remember, I enjoyed it as a child.
I mean, here's the thing with KidZone at Universal is all the properties there are pretty much outdated and defunct. I think
Barney was the most timeless though. Out of
I guess you even look at a 3-year-old now. Are they gonna know who Barney is really?
I walk by.
I know it's still
Playland, and I'm like, what kid? Like, it blows my mind that it's 2021 and Fievel's Playland is still there.
I mean that, and not even that. It's like, who even remembers Fievel Goes West? Which is basically what that is based on.
Yeah, but
I mean, even with kids with Curious George, like, do kids really even know who Curious George is anymore? Besides, like, the new animated movies that maybe came out.
Yeah, the movie. I think my kids have seen the movies, but I can't.
But your kids don't run back there and go, "Ooh, yay, Curious George! I love him."
And same thing. I mean, I would say Woody Woodpecker less relevant in the U.S. However, in other parts of the world, Woody Woodpecker is still very huge, especially apparently Brazil. He's like one of the most popular animated characters.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, KidZone has definitely been our biggest complaint while they've redone all these other sections of the studios, they've sort of let that area really go downhill, and hopefully maybe with closing Barney, maybe they'll finally they have the entire DreamWorks catalog. I mean, heck, even with Fievel, like American Tail, it's like just re-themed a few things to more relevant characters. I think you keep Woody Woodpecker, the same, but you could retheme Fievel to some other DreamWorks thing. And I'm sure you could retheme Curious George to some other DreamWorks title.
I mean, even if they just redid even if they completely rebuilt a playground, it's not a huge investment.
If Epic Universe wasn't a thing, we didn't know if like a rumored Super Nintendo World was going in there.
Well, that's
I'd be so hyped now.
I mean, there's obviously been the rumor
of
Pokemon going into KidZone. I mean, we know Super Nintendo World was originally supposed to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point that they had started taking out buildings in the back.
Yep.
So it's maybe the idea of bringing Pokemon taking over this area again, maybe that'll come back. I don't know
something because it's just a dead area.
I mean that is Universal's been their problem, is the lack of things for little kids.
That's always been, I love Universal. But like I just recently, like within the last year or so, 6 months to a year, could justify buying my 10-year-old an annual pass to Universal. There's not a whole lot for the little kids there to do. And I
you have to basically spend all day in Seuss or Fievel. That's about it.
And as much as we talk about doing something about Shrek, the Shrek attraction, it's like
they sit there. It's fine.
I'd rather them do something about KidZone before dealing with Shrek. So
yeah.
And I don't think I added a slide of it here into our presentation, but Universal Studios Store. We can also chat about Blue Man Group. This is another thing that went to the wayside. I don't believe we ever discussed it here on the podcast. Blue Man Group officially announced that they were closing on their Twitter handle, the Orlando location at Universal Orlando. I don't think it was too big of a surprise.
No, I believe their contract was up this year anyway. And we sort of knew with Cirque, who now owns Blue Man Group, some of the financial things they're going through, that certain shows were not going to come back.
Yeah.
And also, Universal sort of, I feel like probably needs that was a converted sound stage, probably needs that area back for either an attraction, or they're doing more filming now than
Beetlejuice Dark Ride.
Yeah.
Or give me the 11th HHN haunted house.
Or the
or Beetlejuice.
Or what was the other thing people always like to say? The Wicked, mini Wicked show from Japan.
No.
But no, yeah. It's not surprising. They haven't been, even after they updated the show. Was it 4 or 5 years ago? They rarely filled the theater anymore. It was a great show. But it's I feel like, and this is my worry with the new Cirque show, is like with the cost of the park tickets and everything has gone up so much dramatically. There's not as much extra money people have, and I think that's what hurt Lanuba at Disney Springs, and what hurt Blue Man Group. It's like you don't have the extra money, then you're not going to go to a show.
You're not going to do all these add-on things.
But remember too, during the end, or towards the end, I should say, is how many emails would we get being like, please buy Blue Man Group tickets. Here's all the discounts we can possibly put towards it. Please just go fill it.
Oh no. And if you were lucky enough to know someone who worked there, it's like oftentimes you could get like a $15-$20 ticket, or sometimes they had on like some weekday shows, they had, free tickets to give away because they just wanted to,
fill the
auditorium, and hopefully you'd buy some snacks to help pay. And there were times, they would be out there trying to sell people, I think, in City Walk tickets for like $15-$20.
Yeah, they had the display right there in City Walk. But as far as Blue Man Group, all signs have been taken down or covered up. They even painted over the giant mural on the side of the soundstage. The Blue Man Group statue that was inside Universal Studios, right there by the main gift shop, and Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, that was removed. I was there on Friday. And so all signs of Blue Man Group have disappeared. I'm
waiting for one of those Urban Explorer people now to try to break into there and look at Blue Man Group props.
Oh gosh, like an abandoned Blue Man Group. So anyways, what's up here on the screen now, for those of you watching the live stream, we didn't get an official announcement, but on Friday morning,
it just appeared.
We finally got concept artwork for the new Universal Studios store coming.
Shocked, I tell you, shocked.
Yeah, we've been chatting about this for a while. What's going to go there? Everybody seemed to be everybody was on the same page that it was going to be their new centerpiece, Universal Studios store. It being right there on the corner, prime location. They made it official with this concept artwork. Universal didn't announce anything. No press release was issued. But I was there and I studied the concept artwork. It looks really cool. And then, of course, the interesting thing, I think it's this piece of artwork up on the screen right now, right here. You can see Mario and Luigi. They are on the concept artwork. So apparently we are going to be getting, unless this concept artwork is wrong, something Super Mario. Will it be like the cafe store thing we got at Universal Studios Japan? Who knows?
I think I wouldn't be surprised if it's a merchandise section. I imagine this store is going to have like a themed Harry Potter section, maybe a themed Nintendo section. Universal, there's, since Harry Potter, they sell a lot more merchandise than they used to, and of course they own DreamWorks and Illumination now too. Mm-hmm. So, you can I think they've been lacking in having a big giant Universal store because, and it's great. And it's good for some people can't afford to go to the park. So they come to City Walk and you have a Universal store there, but it's not that big. And, I think one of the things that's always been sort of lacking at this City Walk compared to, say, Hollywood City Walk is retail, not having enough retail. And I think this will fill a big hole. It's in a prime location, and now they can put something else in the other studio store.
Well, that's what's interesting with the other stores. I went in there on Friday and they're doing weird stuff with it. Like, it's cool, but they're adding like sections, like a timeline. Like when you walk in on the right-hand side, it kind of starts with the construction of Universal Studios Florida. And as you go up on the wall on the sides, it kind of progresses with the timeline of Universal to the construction of Islands of Adventure. And there's all sorts of props and stuff. And somebody said they're turning this into a legacy store.
That'd be cool.
Or something.
Yeah, it would be cool. They could definitely maybe use that in like you said, legacy, or have more of the high end limited edition stuff in that store.
Yeah,
or like year round HHN merchandise, or stuff that's more like collectible, or the more limited edition artwork, Universal Monster stuff like that.
They're already doing something with it, so it was interesting to see that. So all right, let's
wait. Serious question though.
Back up. Emily's got a question.
Do you think we'll have a pathway to walk through the store?
No.
Our HHN pathway back.
No. Unless there's a door on one side and then you can walk out the other side
where they can go, hey, are you looking for anything? Can I help you today? And I just go, no.
No, I think it was very much on purpose that they got rid of that.
Oh, dang.
So sorry, Emily, you're still gonna have to walk the extra.
I just wanted air conditioning.
So all right, moving on. Emily got to head down to Busch Gardens and check out their food and
none of the
wine.
items in this picture.
That is 100% correct. Nothing in this picture is nothing that I consumed. So
this was the fanciest press photo I could find. So
yeah, no worries. We headed down on a Saturday.
Hey, in my defense, I literally threw this slideshow together in like 2 minutes. So
no worries. Yeah, we went on a Saturday, which may have been a mistake. It was very busy. Anyways, though, we had a great time. Thank you again to Busch Gardens for inviting us out to that. They did give us, lanyards, which we took advantage of. But I've always said it with, SeaWorld and Busch Gardens being like a sister company and everything like that. They have the best food and drink festivals, like no matter what time it is, like what kind of like holiday or whatever they're celebrating, like, oh, nothing compares to the Busch Gardens and SeaWorld festivals. So they had, just thinking of the stuff that we got, they had everything from like chicken and biscuit sliders, like Impossible sliders, bison sliders, beer, obviously wine, different like mixed drinks.
What kind of beer did James try?
Oh, see, this is the thing when you've been in an almost 4-year relationship and they start describing the beer to you and you go, okay.
You just nod and go with it.
Is it good, sweetie? Like, I'm like, he always explains it to me and I'm just like, beer is beer. But
that's kind of the way I am. I don't drink it. I'm like, beer is beer. You can tell me all the different flavors, how it goes down, whether it's smooth. I'm like,
He always like
beer.
tries to get me to taste it too, and I'm like, no, thank you. But I'm trying to think. They had like espresso rubbed pork. They still had like the Mardi Gras stuff available if you wanted to still try that out. So like I still got like beignets because they're pretty good.
And you can kind of toss your lanyard, right? And
yeah,
I feel like Busch Garden beignets way better than.
Oh yeah, God, the SeaWorld ones were like little donut holes, and I like had to question the person that gave me the like beignet donut holes at SeaWorld. I was like, "Are you sure? You 100% this is it?" But yeah, no. So like they had the beignets. You could get other stuff like jambalaya, gumbo. I really love cheesecake cones.
I was at SeaWorld yesterday and I was gonna get the one there, but I was tired. It was hot.
I don't know who thought of putting scoops of cheesecake in a waffle cone, but I love them and I appreciate them. I would like to marry them. They had that also at Busch Gardens, and everyone online was like, "Oh my God, that looks too much." And I'm like, "You're right, it is. I should not be eating this."
But it's delicious.
But I mean, you kind of have to play it safe though when you go to like these festivals, especially if you are buying like your own lanyard. Definitely look, and I like to do this too, and it's like kind of one of my biggest like tips and tricks that I tell people is definitely look at like the portion sizes that other people are getting from the different booths. Like for example, they had, and it looked amazing on like the picture online, it was like a strawberry shortcake type of like milkshake with like a cupcake on top, and then you go up to the actual booth and it's like a cup literally like this big.
It's like a shot glass.
And they like shoved a shot glass of like a milkshake. Like there's like an awkward like just piece of vanilla cake on top, and it's like those sort of things.
Cake crumb on the top.
Yeah. So it's like those sort of things. Like definitely look at the picture on the website. I always say go on the website and like kind of plan on what you want to get. And kind of do it that way. But then when you get there, if you see something that's like not really supposed to, 100%, it doesn't look like what you're supposed to get, then skip it, honestly, or pay out of pocket for it. But I would not waste like a punch on those sort of things.
I was at SeaWorld yesterday wrapping. They gave us a lanyard when you guys went to the Seven Seas Food Festival, so I had 2 punches left, and I was kind of doing the same thing.
You got those pork belly bites, and I was so proud of you.
They were good, so but that was one where the portion was really small, and I wish they would had given me. I'm not expecting like a full platter of food, but I wish.
But if you're paying out of pocket like $6, $7, $8, you're kind of expecting more than like 2 little pork bites and like a tiny scoop of white rice.
Those brisket tachos though, whoo child.
Oh yeah, the tachos are dangerous.
I'm using my last punch at the American booth. I'm going straight up American.
Yeah, no, Barry and I got them the last time we went to SeaWorld. I think it was for the Christmas stuff. And we still had like a full lanyard, and like for some reason our brains went, tachos would be really good right now. And then they gave us like an entire basket.
It was big. I got a big serving
with
too.
Meat and whatever you wanted on it. And Barry and I looked at each other and we're like, we have made mistakes today.
It was
we should not have gotten this.
They top it with the mayo ketchup, and it's so good. So cool. All right.
But yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah. Moving on.
Peppa Pig.
We got Peppa Pig news to talk about. Legoland coming in swinging with the breaking news this week. They announced I've been wondering what the heck this. I went down there for the Pirate Fest weekend. What was it? A weekend or 2 ago?
Somewhere around there.
Even before that, I remember. I can't remember what I was at Legoland. Maybe it was Christmas. I can't remember. But I was at Legoland before that, and I saw this construction in the parking lot, and there was like no attachment to the park.
Barry
at
just
all.
Groaning.
What the heck was that?
That was Barry going.
No, I was just sort of laughing. No, I mean it's. Go ahead.
You all right there?
No, I'm good. Sorry, I'm like I'm trying to prepare ahead for like the next part of the podcast. So.
Barry's getting ready here.
I just thought Barry like had like a vendetta against Peppa Pig, and he's like,
curse you, I know, but Sin has Sin was like when she heard there was a Peppa Pig theme park coming, she's like the worst character ever. It's
I haven't watched. I've just seen some of the funny moments from the show that people put, like her hanging up on her friend when she's whistling, and the few little funny clips.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, maybe
an
I'm
entire
kidding.
theme park though.
But anyways,
She is very popular, and obviously, I mean,
Well, overseas, right? Like more.
she's popular here.
well, she's popular here.
I don't
but-
have a child.
And everybody was like, "Well, she has a theme park over in the UK." I'm like,
UK,
"No,
yeah.
She has a
that
land.
is a land."
Land thing.
And this is technically a land. It's not massive, but Legoland is advertising it as a theme park. I don't know if
and
the
it's
official.
separately ticketed, right?
It is going to be a separate ticketed event. So Legoland's trying to look for other ways. They're known as Legoland Florida Resort.
Yeah.
So they're looking. I'm guessing this is just another thing that they can add as an add-on ticket. With the if you're staying at the Legoland Florida Hotel, you can add on the Peppa Pig theme park because Legoland has a lot of attractions.
I mean, their water park is a separate ticket.
Yeah, their water park is a separate ticket. They have the what's the beach resort called with the villas?
The beach resort.
The beach.
We're doing great.
They have all these things, and this Peppa Pig theme park is just going to be another thing for them to say, hey, you want to add on the Peppa Pig theme park? So I don't know if the official name is Peppa Pig theme park. I don't know if that's just a placeholder
Peppa's Wild
name.
Ride.
Peppa Land. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the concept art they released very basic. I mean, it's something that I think Legoland realizes they have the younger kid demographic, and they're trying to give people more of a reason to come for not just one day, but 2-3 days, stay in one of the hotels or the beach resort. And it seems to be working because they I feel like the only competition they really have in that market is for like the really little kids is SeaWorld, because I mean, Disney, especially when you're talking about price, Disney is up on its own level.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can afford to come to Disney, and that's it's Disney is the big man on campus in this area, but there are people who come to Central Florida now who don't even go to Disney anymore because either it's too expensive, or they go to Legoland, or they go to SeaWorld and go to Fun Spot or other iDrive attractions, and that's what they do while they're here.
And luckily for Legoland, it's not too far out of Orlando. It's a 45-minute drive. I mean, for me, I live in South Orlando, so when I go down there, it's a 45-minute drive for me. So people will go out there, and as long as Legoland continues to add these attractions, they're trying to get people to stay out there, like Barry said, for 2-3 several days, and make their own Legoland vacation, which is great. I love Legoland. Every time I'm there with my kids, or heck, even there by myself, I love Legoland. It's such a fun park. The Peppa Pig thing was an interesting choice. It'll be interesting to see how it works out. There were no details announced. They said details of the rides and stuff will be announced at a later date. I'm guessing by this concept artwork, there's like train. I don't know if it's train track or roller coaster track. We might get one roller coaster in there.
Through the front entrance sign, though?
Right through Peppa Pig, just
She just gets decimated every half hour.
They're smart. They just reveal a few pieces of concept art, and it's not coming until 2022. So
next year. So all right, moving on. We got. Oops, let me hide that. Go to next here. A touch of Disney.
Just a little boop.
Just a touch.
You got the touch.
You know what? I thought about that theme song. I was like, Transformers. But yeah, Disneyland announced that they are hosting a Touch of Disney event, not at Disneyland, at Disney California Adventure. It is going to be a separate ticketed event. No pass holders. Of course, Disneyland pass holders are.
I mean, you could buy a ticket if you're a pass holder.
Yeah.
They're only legacy. There are no pass holders. They're just legacy pass holders.
Legacy pass holders now.
Here, you still get a discount on some things.
Yep. So
even though your pass no longer works.
But yeah, they announced this Touch of Disney event. It's going to be at DCA. There's not going to be any rides or anything. It'll take place beginning March 28th.
18th.
Yep. And then tickets go on sale March 4th. And the introductory ticket price is $75. And this is what it gets you. You get parking at the Mickey and Friends parking structure, a $25 Touch of Disney dining card, redeemable for food and non-alcoholic beverages. And then you get unlimited digital downloads of your Disney Photo Pass captured throughout the day. So, what do you guys think of this? Do you think there was a lot of discussion on Twitter, social media, of the $75 price tag? Is it too much? Is it too little? What do you guys think of the price point for this?
Listen, I'm poor. So
I mean,
don't get me wrong. If you're giving me parking and then also a $25 food voucher, that gets to like what, 50 then? So,
yeah, I think so.
The extra 25 is the ability to walk around and look at things with my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
I think Carly Wiesel, who we've had on the podcast, I think she broke it down like pricing minus the parking minus a $25 gift card, and I think it came to like $40-50 for admission. To go into the park, which we've had theme parks here, so
I mean, maybe if I get that they don't have like entertainment and stuff out there anymore, but if there was something maybe more of like a socially distant meet and greet, or some type of entertainment that maybe went along with this, I'd be a little more inclined.
Sort of details about any kind of meet and greet. Obviously, they won't have
all they'll say is unique photo ops and surprise character sightings. So,
but even if like they included something like that, I as a consumer would be more inclined to be like, okay, you're giving me my parking, you're giving me a $25 food voucher, and I'll be able to walk around, at least like take some socially distant pictures, or if you're an Instagram person, you have an empty park. And
this has been the thing with California, is the fact that the theme parks haven't been able to open, but the zoos have been able to open, and that's why SeaWorld San Diego is open, because they just decide, we're a zoo, so it's like
animals can't get it.
And we all know this is going to sell out, because it's they're going
to take the opportunity for empty park pictures.
Are so desperate just to even experience. And we've seen how busy downtown Disney has been.
Yeah.
So people just want to experience any Disney thing that they can, and they're gonna pay for it. It's from noon to 8 p.m. And it's should Disney have done this sooner? Probably. Will it help? The fact that cast members out there will be at, some of them will be able to come. More of them will be able to come back to work.
Yeah, I saw
think that's a good
numbers,
thing.
Like 1,000 cast members are going to be coming back to work for this, or something like that. So that's definitely a plus, a positive for this this thing going on at California Adventure. So it's hard because we've had the theme parks for several months. So it's I think it'll be nice. People will pay for it, just to get a taste of, you're going to be able to walk around DCA, grab something to eat, So yeah, I'm happy for our West Coast peeps, and I believe Ryan said he's going to be there.
Nice.
So maybe we'll get some coverage. I think the first day is on his birthday.
Ryan, please.
The first day is on his birthday, so I think he said he's gonna try and be out there for that. So we'll let you guys know. So, anyways, all right, moving on. Whoops, don't want to hide.
I was
that.
about to say, are you okay?
I'm okay. Like I said, I threw this slideshow together in like 5 minutes. So,
I love Stargate.
Stargate has appeared at Epcot.
Actually, my two favorite comparisons have been either Stargate or isn't that the portal that they use to get to space in Infinity War?
There's been so many memes coming out of this. Oh my god.
The main Harmonious show barge is now out in the
she out there.
Lagoon. We all knew this thing was tall. I mean, you've been able to see it over the back of the Germany pavilion for a while now.
Yep.
And if you have any cast member friends and have been through the Epcot cast member parking lot, that you could see already how gigantic the thing was. I mean, it's 6 stories tall. I mean,
just the deep sigh.
Come on, Barry. Let it out.
Until this show starts, I'm trying to reserve judgment, but I mean, the fact that they didn't even center the barge.
That's what bothers me the most.
And some people have said whether it looked like they were centering it so it would lined up with the now canceled festival center. Which to me,
I saw that somebody said that because they're gonna. Well, I don't know if it's happening anymore.
And I say that I think, oh yeah, but then part of me is like knowing modern Imagineering, who probably not. I think until we see the show, I think how this affects the sight lines in Epcot during the day. It's going to be hard to tell. I sometimes feel like maybe they should have gone with not black for the structure of this thing.
What color would they have painted it?
I mean,
White?
every
Gold?
time I look at a picture
what
of
is
this,
it? What do people call it? Go away sky, not there, blue or something. that the
kind of like what they're doing with the Guardians building, the Guardians coaster building,
the Soarin' building.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I just look at this, though, I just want to take like a gigantic golf club and hit the Spaceship Earth ball through it.
Yeah, I mean it is until the show debuts. It's hard to see if this is worth it. I mean, albeit we all know if this show was debuting like at Tokyo Disney Sea, they would build barges that would be able to go in and out every day.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's just weird,
but also their lagoon doesn't have actually was built properly and has an in and out that doesn't require a bridge to go up and down every day. So
yeah, and this thing barely fits through that canal over there by Africa and
yeah, but I mean all these barges barely fit through, and that's why they're permanent.
I just think people are more mad about the fact that like they can't take pictures of World Showcase anymore.
I mean, it's
that's where my thing is. Like, how
a
many
nighttime
people
show
literally would take pictures across World Showcase Lagoon of the other side? I'm like, is it really
me?
I think it's just it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing to look at.
It's not. I agree there.
Yeah,
especially what is it going to look like once all the seagulls start crapping all over it?
I think everybody always wants to, moan and complain about everything, and then the second it opens, everyone's going to be like, "Harmonious is the best show that I've ever seen. I love her. She's appreciated," and you're just going to be like, "Okay,
I think
you were complaining about it like 3 months ago, but all right."
I think our only real worry more for the show is sight lines for this show than anything else.
And here's another thing. I think a big part of it too is a lot of people complained with Illuminations they were never able to see the globe.
Yeah, you're going to see this thing.
And you literally can't avoid it.
Imagineering's like, here's a giant 6-story circle. Can you see it now?
Well, and I mean, the biggest question is going to be the quality of the water screen in the middle. There is have they come up with some
2021? They better have
that will be more visible from an angle. That's the biggest thing, from an angle than the traditional water screens.
Well, I know you and I discussed that, Barry. I know we said like the Rivers of Light fountains that come from the ground and they shoot up. They were never able to get those things right, and I believe this one comes from the top down, like a water curtain. Hopefully, and we get windy days here in Florida. That's the big thing is wind, and it gets windy out there on World Showcase Lagoon. So
I mean, we talk about the fountains that are supposed to disguise them during the day. It's like, what is going to happen on a windy day when World Showcase Lagoon water is literally flying into the walkway from these giant fountains in the middle of the lagoon. So I mean, like I said, I think much we try to hold judgment until we see the show, which hopefully, based on rumors, will be in October. I mean, this is one of the, if not the most technology advanced show that they have ever created.
Technologically,
there you go.
There you go. I got you.
I mean, it is the most advanced show they've ever created, and
there's still 2 more taco barges to come out.
Yeah, there's still 2 more, and then I think once that's in, then we're going to start seeing some serious testing, which is going to be interesting because it's going to be very hard for them to hide the testing for the show because
you
can see
can't miss it.
3 a.m.
You can't miss it. So all right, we gotta move on here. Disney World 50th. This was the other big thing that was announced. We finally got just a few details about 50th.
Projection mapping icons.
Yeah.
Basically.
We got a few details. I don't think this was everything about the 50th.
No.
That press release was very short.
It was slightly vague. So pretty much what we got was, what do they call them? Magical beacons or magic beacons or
AK projection mapping on icons.
Beacons of magic. They're going to transform all 4 of the park icons. Here you see, if you're watching the live stream, Cinderella Castle with its 50th anniversary, which is...
Yeah, I mean, Castle's gotten the paint job, and it's going to get some more gold bling. Much like at Disneyland for its 50th with Sleeping Beauty Castle. So I mean, they're going, which is one of the reasons I'm assuming while the canal was drained, it's because they're going to add more stuff onto the castle.
Mm-hmm.
On top of it, obviously projection mapping. The big thing will be Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, there's Spaceship Earth.
Shiny.
A gigantic lighting package that I'm going to be interested to see how they get that done before the 50th because this
seems very ambitious.
Very ambitious. I'm assuming. I mean, I'd be interested to see how it's done. Are they going through the inside of the attraction and inserting the lighting like that? Because I obviously, I would assume we'd see a giant crane by now.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting. Tower Terror already had projection mapping from the Christmas shows.
Oh, everyone got their panties in a twist.
This was an interesting.
This is not this park icon. Well, it is now.
Now it is.
I was really curious with Tower of Terror because I think they're actually going. I can't tell, but it seemed like they were going to be adding some. I don't know if it's just gonna. It's hard to tell from this.
It looks like they're going to be adding some additional,
like maybe some like gold to it or something.
Building lighting
I would say more just lighting in general. I don't think they'd actually add anything to the exterior.
We've seen as far as like the Christmas projection show, it doesn't affect the ride experience.
No.
I mean, you only have that brief moment. Once or twice where the doors open up and you see the outside, but it never really affected. And of course, the Tree of Life, I guess, was getting some additional.
It looks the same to me.
It looks the same. I think what they're adding more fireflies, or they're adding,
from what I can tell,
more like the fireflies were just like laser projection, and I think now they're actually going to add some specific
they said
lighting inside the trees.
A warm light will emanate from the Tree of Life as magical fireflies gather to usher in the magic of nature. That's
so I think they're adding some
press release.
LED lighting into the tree itself, and not just having the fire laser projecting going on into the tree.
And I didn't add it into our slideshow for the live stream, but Mickey and Minnie are also getting costumes for the 50th.
They look so cute.
And they always look adorable.
Very, very Tokyo Disney, those costumes.
It's very pastel-ish, so that's very Tokyo. Yeah, the bright, vibrant. I can see why you're saying.
I mean, we know it's an 18-month celebration. I know that, they're counting Harmonious as part of it. And, they're going to, at some point during it, Tron and Guardians is going to open, and it's seems like with coronavirus, what they're doing is they're going to spread out things opening throughout the celebration, which I think makes sense. And so, some of the things whether or not, we've talked about things before, like that they've allegedly been working on like a special 50th tag for Happily Ever After.
Mm-hmm.
Even though originally there was supposed to be a 50th show, people seem to forget Happily Ever After was supposed to be a temporary show.
Yep.
Until the 50th, but it's become so popular, and I we've talked before. I wish we would get a 50th projection show. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
People keep talking about bringing Once Upon a Time back. It's like, how about just a 50th projection show? It's like, Tokyo did one for their 35th, which was really impressive. So it's like, they could easily slap one together. So
I mean, the 50th is also going to go on for like 18 months or something. So.
Yeah, at some point, Festival of Fantasy is going to come back, and there's been rumored that it's going to get an additional float for the 50th. And of course, the countless rumors over Nighttime Parade. Everything from, I don't think a new one was coming; it was planned. Whether
I want to hold my breath about that.
Whether Paint the Night, which is just sitting in a warehouse out in California because Disneyland was too cheap to run it.
Obviously, COVID, threw a wrench into this whole 50th thing. Yeah. So it'll be interesting, to see what happens versus, or what was planned versus what actually happened.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're doing an 18-month because that'll give time, like you said, to add entertainment. And I wonder if things are allowed again. So
I wonder if it was originally, that's an interesting point. I wonder if they were originally going to go with just a 12-month celebration.
I figured, the 18 months was to give them enough time.
Yeah, we had heard, it had
that extra 6 months
from 18 to a 2-year celebration, because
Disney
World used to do these major celebrations all the time, and then it became something that they didn't want to do anymore. And I'm glad. Like I said, I think as far as the 50th, we've got to look at the entire 18 months and not just what's going to be going on October 1st, which if we're lucky, any of us actually get to go into the Magic Kingdom on October 1st.
I was actually like debating that, and I actually spoke about that on like Grim Granny Host as well. It's just, what's the point?
Yeah.
Unless you really, really, really want merchandise and just to say that you physically were there on that day, I don't think there's going to be like any shows.
And
I don't think there's going to be much special besides like, food and merchandise.
Yeah, Clint and I were talking, and I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't even allow park hopping into the Magic Kingdom that day.
Oh, I don't think so.
And we've heard the rumor that Harmonious is going to debut October 1st. Barring, I think, depending on how things go with the vaccine, and also I think barring whether they do the rumored, bringing Epcot Forever back to see how, to run a nighttime show right now. We'll be there. We'll be there for the entire 18 months. So
we're not going anywhere.
At one point, we'll show up.
Yeah, at one point we'll be there.
I still try every day, like multiple times a day, to see if I can get in to Magic Kingdom on October 1st. So
yeah, all right, gonna happen.
Moving on, let me go next here. We're gonna talk some pop culture news. We got 4 titles for the Spider-Man movie.
Pick your favorite.
Yeah, I put
Pick
one
your
up.
Fighter.
I put the funniest one up here for those of you watching the live stream. The one that
Spider-Man Phone Home.
Yeah,
featuring E.T.
This one was the first one that Tom Holland posted on his Instagram, and everybody went crazy with the ET memes and just went all crazy with it, and everybody's like,
well,
what?
And I love how like the whole ad campaign for release of the name was based around the fact that he has a tendency to open his mouth in the past and accidentally leak stuff.
Yeah, but we got the official title of the next Spider-Man movie, which is Spider-Man No Way Home. And you were just talking about it, Barry. I love the little trailer that they did with him asking what's his name for the official title, and he gave him a bunch of fake ones. And then the billboard, the whiteboard behind him had the official logo on it. And there were so many fun little Easter eggs in that. On that whiteboard of different titles that they pitched and like funny knockoff ones, and somebody was like, "There's hexagons on it. That's WandaVision," and then the Marvel people went absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's been the rumor. We know Doctor Strange is supposed to show up. We know certain past Spider-Man villains or Spider-Man might be in the movie. Who knows if Wanda shows up? Because it definitely, we have a general idea that it's going to be the multiverse, and and it's going to lead into Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. I'm excited. I mean, I'm fingers crossed. We have 4 Marvel movies coming this year, so I mean, it's and I like, they obviously decided to keep the whole thing of keeping home in the title.
Yeah, because we had Homecoming and
Far From
Home. So this one
and No Way Home, I'm assuming, is basically the way Far From Home ended, where Spider-Man was outed to the world and is accused of killing, Mysterio, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and
some of these
as much as rumored stuff has come out so far, it's like, this is Marvel. There's going to be surprises in this movie that we don't even see coming.
Oh, of course. There, so I'm a member on like one of, if not the biggest, like Marvel Facebook group, and some of the theories that some of these Marvel people come up with is like insane. Like somebody took the 3 titles. I don't have them in front of me here, but somebody took the Phone Home one, the one that Zendaya did, and the other one, and put them all 3 side by side, and was like, oh, these are the colors of Hobgoblin. Is Hobgoblin going to be the villain in the 3rd Spider-Man movie? And it's like, you guys got way too much time on your hands. Like, some of these theories that people come up with, they're really entertaining, but I'm like, holy cow.
The time it takes to actually try to do your research with that, and
like it's insane, like the amount of time people have to come up with like these theories and stuff. They're very entertaining. So anyways, all right, I think it's time to sound the alarm.
Before we get to that, I wanted, and I'm surprised you didn't add this to the podcast.
Hey, you forgot the Disney 50th, so I don't want to hear it.
Well, you forgot. Paramount Plus had their major announcement this week that that it kicks off March 4th, and that there's a Halo series coming in 2022.
You think you guys don't care about Halo? I'm not going to talk.
I know,
about
but
Halo
I thought
podcast.
Please, Barry, for the love
I'm
of
shocked
God,
you didn't try to squeeze that in there.
Now, we can't
not let him talk about Halo for an hour, please.
And I will say I should have really put it in there anyway, because it is a popcorn. I'm really impressed with the Paramount Plus line.
That's just it. I looked at the official press release for the Paramount Plus thing, and I was like, dear God, this is insane.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I've been on a Star Trek kick lately, and I'm all for like more Star Trek because we finally started watching Star Trek Discovery, and I'm really impressed how good it is so far.
Yeah. Well, isn't CBS getting rid of their streaming app and becoming
Paramount
Plus?
It's just becoming CBS All Access is becoming Paramount Plus, and then they're adding in.
Explain to me why everybody adds the plus on the end of their name and says, "Oh, here's our streaming." There
was some article I saw about that the other day.
I saw it too,
and it's a lack of imagination. It's just like the only idea they can come up with is just plus.
I never read the article, and I think the headline on the article was like, why naming your streaming service with the word plus is a bad idea or something like that. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. I'm sure there's other pluses out there. I just like, is it just pure laziness with these companies? And they're like,
I guess.
Well, we
can't
think of
this
anything.
name tested the best.
Yeah.
So
Paramount Plus, Disney Plus. I guess it just sounds good. But anyways, no, I mean, we can't take too much time on it because we're kind of running late here. But Paramount Plus looks. I was impressed with the amount of content. We got the Rugrats. That was really cool.
Another SpongeBob show.
Another SpongeBob show. Like you said, the Halo series, which was going to be on Showtime. I think it was originally.
Yeah.
It jumped over to Paramount Plus. I said, oh, well, looks like I'm signing up for Paramount Plus now.
Yeah, I mean that and multiple, like a couple of new Star Trek shows on top of more seasons of all the current shows, which all the ones I watched are very good. The animated one, Star Trek Lower Decks, is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. But yeah, no, I mean it's definitely an impressive. I would say off the bat, it would definitely have more impressive announcement than when HBO Max, originally debuted. And
Oh yeah.
albeit HBO Max really good now because I'm getting to watch movies. That
And Paramount Plus is going to cost $10 for the ad-free version, which is good, and $5 with ads. So
that's not bad at all.
No, that's a good price point. And then all my Top Gun movies.
Yes, you'll have all the Top Gun and Mission Impossible all in one place.
All my fantastic Tom Cruise glory. So yeah, no, I was impressed with it. It looks really good. So I was pleased with their launch. Like I literally looked at the press release and I was like,
yeah,
whew, that's a lot. So all right.
Spoiler time.
On to some
Please leave if you are
WandaVision.
Easily offended.
Yeah, this is your warning. Spoiler alert. We are going to be talking about episodes 7 and 8, and then obviously on the next episode we will be discussing the finale for WandaVision. So
yeah, next episode will be finale, and yeah, and hopefully if we all get a chance to watch it, we'll talk Maya and the Last Dragon. So
yeah. Well, I'm gonna do the Disney Plus thing for that with the kids. They're all excited. Cheryl's gotten them all hyped up for that. So
Emily's like, I now have to come over, or what's your login?
That's okay. I'll just cuddle one of the childs.
So for episode 7, can I just play? I wish I had my mixer hooked up. I'm just gonna play Agatha for the next. So yeah, episode 7. Obviously, the big thing that came out of that, we learned we finally. Not a big surprise. I think a lot of people kind of had an inclination that she was behind this. We got not only probably the catchiest song to come out of WandaVision in a while, and some more interesting details about episode 7. We finally got to see, Monica.
Yep.
That whole scene
Get her
was fantastic.
superpowers.
Getting her powers. Where they tried to drive that like Mars rover into into Wanda's bubble.
Yeah, I love the fake out, the basically the MacGuffin, the person she was meeting. Everybody's like, oh, it's gonna be Reed Richards. It's like, no,
just again, it falls back on these. It falls back on all these insane theories that people come up with, and they just grow and they grow and they grow, and then Marvel. It's like anything, these crazy theories come out and then they don't happen and everybody gets upset. I'm like, it was your idea.
Yeah, I mean, and this was the final sitcom-y episode where once again we're still in the single camera format, but this one was a little bit Modern Family, a little bit Office, a little bit of Arrested Development in it. The theme song was definitely very Office, and also sort of showed in the theme song the diminished role of Vision as it was all Wanda until like the last title card.
Yep.
Yeah, the scenes at the beginning with Wanda, almost being interviewed, that was very Modern Family.
Very.
Ish. And I forgot what was the one thing that she was asked something and she was like, you're not supposed to talk to me.
Talk to me, yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting. That was really cool little,
which is also very like sort of late series Office when like the one sound guy or something.
It was literally like the last season, I think.
Yeah, I started talking to Pam.
Yep. So, Emily, what were some of your favorite moments of episode 7? If you remember anything, or
I mean, I just want to marry Agatha Harkness. She's the new love of my life.
Yeah,
I appreciate her.
I mean, we could just talk about Agatha all along for the next, like I said, the next several minutes.
Yeah,
we can honestly just keep putting it on repeat until people start leaving the live chat. It's fine.
Yeah. That whole scene at the end with when she announced that she killed Sparky too, and just God. It was fantastic. I loved it. Everybody, like, we were watching it in the living room, and my mother-in-law, all 3 kids were down there. Cheryl was down there. And, like, when she was like, I killed Sparky, too, like, the kids, everybody went like, oh, and I was, like, laughing. I was like, I'm so sick. I'm so twisted.
I mean, to be completely honest with this episode, I even said it to you guys, like when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, I knew that was coming. It was kind of one of those, like, if you're really big into Marvel and you read comics and stuff like that, this episode was not like a big one, if that makes sense. It's a bigger one for people that don't follow it, and it gives you more of that like cool like twist shock reveal.
Yeah, I mean,
but if you're familiar, you're kind of like, okay.
I think it wasn't shocking, but I think the having the theme song just put sort of a nice little capper on it, and just sort of let you go back and sort of see that she was, because the one neighbor, was it Norm or Ned?
Herb
or something, Herb, because we were all I think discussing before, how does he realize what's going on? It's like, oh no, it was her. They show that it was her who I guess, let him sort of see a little bit through what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even like you and Clint with the interviewer, she was the interviewer. She was the one that was manipulating that.
And then what was
we all knew she, the thing with Vision. I think that was, for the people who weren't really in the know, that was the biggest reveal the previous episode, when she clearly was manipulating Vision.
And what was the commercial in episode 7 was for Nexus.
Yes.
The antidepressant Nexus. That was interesting because I think the Nexus
even when
you back
when
to
you want
Age
to
of
create in your own reality, or it was the tagline.
Yeah. But in Age of Ultron, Tony hacks into the Nexus internet hub, and he discovers Jarvis. That's when he kind of discovered Jarvis kind of scattered his AI. So that was the commercial.
And I love the stuff with Vision and
Darcy.
Yeah.
For those who watching the live stream.
I liked how they just got her out of that real quick. Didn't have to linger on.
Yeah, I was kind of scared that was going to take too long and take me out of it.
Sort of buddy comedy thing that they were going on, like as they were trying to get back to the center of town.
And then that whole thing with them, what was it, an ice cream truck that they hijacked or something? Or
funnel cake truck.
Funnel cake, yeah. Yeah. And then there were some really heartfelt moments in that scene too, when she was telling Vision, like, I've been watching WandaVision, and like when she says, the love you guys have is real. And I was like, oh boy, we're going to.
Well, and to me, really, it's like this episode was sort of like, I was talking with someone else about how this show, like, there's so many different genres in this show, and there's a horror genre in this show of just the darkness that has been slowly creeping in more and more and more as the show has gone on. And then this episode, all the scenes where she's talking to the camera, like always in with some like really like despair, depression turn at the end of every time, so it's in, and of course for it to finally end with Agatha revealing herself to Wanda, just sort of put a capper on that to, and Vision with the doing the whole interview parts, and then he's finally like, what am I doing this for? And just leave, and then
the whole scene at the beginning with the two boys where they had their controllers turn into the GameCube controllers, and then the Wii remotes, and then it was like Atari. I was like, that was fantastic.
And it's hard, and I've tried to go back multiple times, and of course the biggest thing, Monica gaining her powers, and she's basically using her sheer willpower to fight her way through the force field. And I know at different points you hear her mom's voice. You hear Captain Marvel's voice, and it's very hard. I've tried to go back and watch it multiple times to hear exactly what they're saying as she's going through the force field. And then she slowly comes to realize, when she faces off with Wanda, the fact that she is her mother's daughter and her aunt, and definitely has her aunt in her too. Just will do anything to help somebody, and to the point that she knows she's going to pay a price for what she's trying to do.
And if there are any Disney executives listening to this podcast, which I doubt there are, but if there are, can we get a spin-off series for Agatha explaining her whole "I actually did bite a kid once" bit?
Yeah, I mean,
want to know what happens there.
I think we can sort of go into
that was amazing.
into episode 8 as we flash back to Salem during the time of the Salem witch trials.
Well, hold on, because there's a mid-credit scene.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
at
that.
the end of that episode where Monica actually finds like the basement cellar, but fake Pietro like grabs her.
Yeah.
So that's leading up to finale. But go on, go for it.
And then episode 8 begins with a flashback of seeing basically the beginning.
This whole scene was dark. I was like, this is
well,
fantastic.
I was like having a great time until there's just an explosion and parents are dead.
She's just like sucking the life out of everybody. I was like, she's turning everybody into a prune. Let's do this.
Yeah, and then the whole thing of this episode is the past and Agatha taking Wanda. And we get more backstory about Wanda than we have gotten in all the previous MCU movies.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that we now know the answer to the sitcom question. Her dad would sell DVDs on the black market, and they would use the sitcom. Him and his her dad and mother used the sitcoms to sort of try to create a safe space and distract them from the horror that's going on around them.
Did anybody else crap their pants when that explosion went off?
Oh, I said a lot of swear words.
System.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that was the point. It was supposed to shock. You basically get to see the moment that she's talked about before.
Yeah.
And the fact she was watching the Dick Van Dyke Show, and that was her favorite. And then Agatha brings off, how did that bomb not go off for 2 days?
Yeah.
And
doesn't she mention something that she probably hexed it or something?
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point is, introducing Agatha and then showing the flashback to Salem introduces witchcraft. When we've already introduced magic as it is with Doctor Strange into the Marvel world, and so now we also know not only are there sorcerers, they're witches too in the Marvel universe. And, basically the through line of going through these different moments and in her past is that Wanda, you are a witch. She takes
them to Hydra and
how did she
well, that's interesting, that section of it.
How did she survive being exposed to the Mind Stone when it killed everyone else?
Yeah.
Well, killed everyone else, and then as she's going, you see like this weird like yellow light that obviously isn't connected to that because it's blue. So it's kind of going into like, did she already have some type of witchcraft or powers before her exposure to the Mind Stone, or what's going on with that?
And that just being exposed to these extreme situations, it was like a defense mechanism.
Yeah. I saw somebody chatting that she mutant discussion that she's a mutant, and she
I mean, I think it's the fact that people are born with magic, and unless they are trained, it just sort of goes away at a point.
Mm-hmm.
It's same thing like with Doctor Strange. It's like maybe I think the thing that's been talked about before, why was he this amazing surgeon? Why was he so good at what he did? Maybe he had like a power in him the entire time. And then once he was trained and became this, the Sorcerer Supreme, that power came out, fully blossomed. I mean, it's, and that's basically what Agatha is trying to figure out. How did Wanda do this? And
then we talk about the whole scene with her and Vision at the Avengers compound after
Pietro's
death.
you
woo, child,
please don't.
That but what is grief if not love persevering?
Yeah. That line went up.
That line, I mean, Sin and I like literally started bawling.
I'm gonna start crying right now.
At the same time, because we immediately like thought of Chloe.
Yeah.
At the same time, and it's so true. It's
yeah.
There someone posted someone. There are screenwriters who, after seeing that line scene, just were like fuck, not to occur. Like that is one is going to become one of like it's the most quoted lines for years. And it's like whoever. It's like it's just brilliant.
That's going to become the next "I Love You" 3000.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
but no,
that whole scene was just amazing. Not only the sad parts, but then he laughs at the very end about, and that I think she was watching. Were they watching the Dick Van
Malcolm
Dyke
in
show?
the Middle.
No, they were
Malcolm in the Middle.
They were watching Malcolm in the Middle, and he laughs, and just the way it ended on him, laughing, and that whole scene was just amazing.
Which once again reinforces like that that sitcom those comedies that she watched with her, that's her safe space. That's sort of like where she goes when she's down.
Speaking of her safe space, let's talk about we get to see Wanda visiting Vision's body.
Yes, which we find out. We
were lied to.
We were lied
to.
And so, that whole scene plays out with her visiting Vision's now like torn apart body. At the sword compound.
And once again makes you wonder what was his motivation.
Yeah,
I mean, albeit they know at some point if she wanted to, they couldn't stop her.
Yeah,
but what was his motivation to expose her to his torn apart body like that?
To get her set off or something, or
I mean, we've questioned what's his end game, beside, and I mean, it may just be that they have a superhero android that they can control, because obviously Sword, whoever the direction Sword is taking now is I'm assuming is they blame the Avengers and everyone for everything that happened. Which is sort of that idea began in Civil War. Yeah. That these things wouldn't happen if we didn't have all these superheroes.
And then obviously after that scene, we get to see Wanda go to Westview, and
then the other scene that like just destroys you is she opens the letter and.
It's a deed for a house, so
he had started. Yeah, it looks like he had started someone to start building them a house,
and it's literally just a concrete foundation. So that's pretty much when everything happens. She breaks down and starts forming Eastview, and
that's where I think you get the idea now. She doesn't know. She's so deep in despair that it just happened.
Yeah. And the little note that Vision wrote on the deed, he said to grow old in. I was like, whew.
Which begins the theory of to me of why did it start in like the 50s, 60s so she could have decades with him.
Yep.
The
interesting part of that too is even when she's, obviously building the house up and changing the town, that's all in red. And then when she goes to whatever she did to bring his consciousness or what have you back to life, that's that yellow.
Yeah.
From when she interacted with Mind Stone. So that is interesting.
So is it part of the Mind Stone is in her, or that, she created him out of her love and memory of him?
Again, there was this crazy theory from these Marvel people that when Wanda was holding off Thanos and destroying the Mind Stone from Vision, that she absorbed power from all of the stones.
Possibly.
So, just another one of those.
Well,
crazy
she's what is? Does Agatha call her like a Nexus character, or there's some name for the type her? I know there's some name in the Marvel comics of what her character is considered, like,
I don't remember.
But the Agatha base. I mean, then we get to Agatha.
Well, she says that she's capable of spontaneous creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when she utters the words, and that makes you the Scarlet
Witch. Which is just like boom, and it's like
it
Mic
was
drop.
so.
the thing. I mean, and this is what blows my mind about MCU is like all this crazy comic book stuff that people used to be like with comic book movies. Oh, you can't do that in a movie. You can't do that. No one's going to buy that. That's crazy talk. And then it's like they just totally retconned her entire history.
You know what's funny is like she said that she's like, and that makes you the Scarlet Witch, and like my dumb self was like, that's right, she's never been called the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, they've never named her because they even asked that. The director goes, "Oh, what? She doesn't have like a nickname or something?"
She's been Wanda this whole time, and I was like,
she's just Wanda Maximoff.
So I was like, my mind was blowing.
Well, it's doing it. I mean, Natasha, the Black Widow, that was her code name from like when she was in that program or something.
Yeah. And let me tell you,
no
as
one
a parent,
calls her
when
Black
she had
Widow.
she has her two kids on those like leashes around their necks.
Mm-hmm.
Me as a parent, I was like, oh boy. That whole crazy scene.
But see, now we got that nice setup though with Darcy and Vision trying to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a setup of Monica getting trapped by fake Pietro.
Yeah.
And then mid-credit scene.
The
director somehow creating an android version of Vision back, which my only thought was
they put his
to
body
destroy
back
her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now I'm really concerned that Westview Vision and this Vision are going to fight to the death, and I'm not excited about crying.
Well, I mean, the fact that here in that ties into the whole getting her to do something, and his motives. It's like they're using, her that drone, the power from that drone that's been like zapped with her energy, to activate the put together back. Whatever you want to call him, NegaVision or
NegaVision.
The project's name was Cataract, which I think refer to his cloudy eyes.
Yep.
His dead
he was
eyes.
creepy looking.
So
it's that, and then did you guys notice this was the first episode without the "Please stand by" at the end?
Yep. Well, because they've been completely taken out of
the TV universe now.
Somebody said that, and I had to go back and watch. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little things like that. I
think the episode 7 was always supposed to be the end of the TV broadcast.
Yeah.
And they've even referenced that there's no more broadcast. So we've got the series.
Not to get balls to the wall.
The finale that we've heard two rumors.
I don't know how they're going to wrap this all up in one episode. I mean,
yeah,
they're just going to leave us on a huge cliffhanger. I know.
We've heard. I mean, there's going to some things will get wrapped up, some things won't. We've seen rumors that the final episode is 50 minutes. We've heard, and I've heard that rumor. I've heard everything from that. There's actually going to be an extra episode next week, and that's like the hidden.
I heard that a while back that there's actually going to be 10 episodes. They just haven't announced it, so I'll take that with a grain of salt, though. We'll have to see.
We know that whatever in whatever version the final episode, the finale airs next week, because also the making of debuts next week too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot they announced that. Yeah,
I'm excited that we're going to get that too, and it looks like with the net
they're going to do it with all the shows, aren't they?
Yeah, it looks like with all the shows and movies from now on.
Yeah,
we're going to get a making of documentary, which that's the one good thing I've been very happy with Disney Plus so far is
all the behind the scenes things,
all the behind the scenes stuff, because that's been, I think, for a lot of us like movie TV fans, the biggest complaint with a lot of the streaming services is stuff that's like on DVDs and Blu-rays doesn't make it onto the streaming service. It's like, I want to see the behind the scenes stuff. I want to watch the documentary.
Yeah.
So
Alrighty, I think that's it. Anything else? WandaVision?
No, I think we're good. It's going to be hell of a
See what
fun
happens.
finale, and like I said, I think not everybody. I'm sure there's some people going to complain that things aren't wrapped up in a tidy bow, but that's the MCU period. There's nothing totally ends on a tiny bow in every movie. It leads into something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how comic books work.
Mhm.
It's I'm excited, and we got that next week, and of course Maya and the Last Dragon coming out in theaters and Disney Plus. So how this experiment works, because
I think this one's going to do better than Mulan because it's an animated movie. So I'll be very curious.
Well, I think too, also the fact that more movie theaters are open now, and actually, New York's theaters open.
Yeah, they announced that they're
capacity that same weekend.
So we'll
that's going to make a difference.
We'll talk about that on the next episode. I'm going to watch it with the kids, with the wife and kids.
I think we're just going to get paid the $30 and do it at home. So
yeah.
I might use it as an excuse to go get like over buttery popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Over buttery popcorn. So, all right,
Barry.
Barry,
you're the only one who's been going to movies. So,
yeah, but anytime we've gone though, it's like maybe like 2 other people in the theater with us.
Yeah.
And they're like 5 rows behind us or in front of us type of thing. So I
haven't even looked. It's like, is it just going to be
crowded?
on like 15 of the 20 screens at AMC Disney Springs? It's like,
come see Raya and the Last Dragon, the only movie playing at AMC Disney Springs.
I'm assuming it'll be on the Dolby. So I don't know. That might be. I don't think. If Sin would go, I'd say yeah, but I don't think she's willing to go to a movie theater yet. So.
All right, Barry, get us on out of here. Tell us what everybody can find on our YouTube and all that jazz.
All right, we are at ThrillGeek on Twitter and Instagram, facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page. YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge vlog where I just wander around and do stuff in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. We have Emily's Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival vlog. We just hit
50K.
50,000
subscribers.
We
went 50,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
We have Clint with his little preview of Flower and Garden. And we've got icebreaker testing, and we got some Thrill Geek Lives up there. So
all sorts
all
of
on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ThrillGeek. ThrillGeek.com for the best in theme park and pop culture news. And a new layout again.
Yeah.
And
sorry about that.
You're listening to the Thrill Geek Podcast, where you can get a podcast. You can get the Thrill Geek Podcast.
Yeah, I went with that pod page, podcast website builder thing for a little while, and it was cool. It was neat.
Until it came to uploading pictures, and then Emily tried to kill herself.
Yeah.
Well, like we said at the beginning of the year, it's going to be a work in progress this year.
Yeah.
Getting the right mix of podcasts, new blog posts, videos, getting it to look just right on the website.
Yeah. And I suddenly randomly got this crazy urge to start doing I think COVID gave me a break from insane article writing, and Emily's probably felt the same way. But I recently got this urge to get back into just throwing stuff back up as articles, if something happens in the park, like all that Universal stuff. I literally created an article for each.
What are you, inside the magic?
I am. It felt good to get back into, putting some articles up on the website, even if it's just picture based, content. So anyways, all right. Thanks, Emily, once again for joining us. Appreciate you.
Love you guys.
And thanks guys for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
See you in the parks.
Bye.
All right.
Does this mean I can do my makeup again? Because everyone wants to see that.
Sure, back to your makeup tutorial.
Well, you said I could.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, everybody in the chat once again. Michael,
You
as
guys
usual.
are awesome.
Yes.
Appreciate you guys.
Barry, yes.
Yes. John, thank you. Eric popped in. Theme Park Horizons, thank you for popping in. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, I thought you had a dog, Barry.
I
thought you had a dog.
Yeah, Dexter's over there snoring. His little old man
doodle.
snores. See if
I
can-
promise on the next one I'll get this slideshow thing figured out a little bit better, so I'm easier on the. I thought you could use the arrow
doodle.
keys.
Now you wake up.
Let me go back here. See, use the space key. Interesting. Anyways. Anyways. Do I go to Epcot?
That's me going, do I want to go outside to go to Animal Kingdom and suffer?
Oh, we were supposed to go to Magic Kingdom last night, but then we ended up not going.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
I feel like I'm only gonna go if it like either the weather drops or if it turns into like 5 p.m.
It's
and I'm
too
still
hot.
bored. It's too hot.
And then they're not even-
February.
It's like the latest anything's staying open tonight is 8. We might go to Epcot just from like 7 to close, and then go hang outside the caramel place, and hopefully someone will give us a free bag of popcorn.
Oh my god.
I saw you.
We got some free popcorn the other night just walking through Canada after close, and it's like they were just giving away, I guess, the leftover boxes of popcorn.
What was it, Denise from Mouse Steps? I saw you reply to her.
Yeah, she just happened to be walking by Germany, and they were giving out the bags of caramel popcorn. I was like, okay, well now I need to go stand over in Germany around 10 after close, and hope someone will walk out with some free caramel popcorn. That stuff's good. So don't tell everybody about that.
Keep the free popcorn.
It's like we know about the free donut things at Universal.
Simpsons,
it's like
yeah.
hang out by a Simpsons after
That was the
restaurant
best
closes.
thing at the end of like HHN 2019. We were all just standing there and they're just like, would you like
You want a donut?
free donuts? It's 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, okay. Might as well.
I posted this on Twitter. These are cool. Cheryl got these because I think they just had them out for cast members to take these 50th cards.
Yeah.
They're like little trading cards. Those are kind of cool.
It's the least they can do.
Trading cards for the cast members. So
you need to get your wife. Have you seen the hauls people are getting from Cast Connection lately? It's like crazy.
You mean the chicken nuggets?
I was gonna say, here comes Emily talking about the chicken nuggets.
Where are my chicken nuggets, Clint?
I was
She
talking
came home
about apparently all the merchandise that they have there now is like just insane.
I saw somebody post. I think it was on Facebook. One of my friends, they went to Cast Connection and they had like a serious haul of some good merchandise. But yeah, the giant bag of chicken nuggets, put them in the air fryer, like 400 degrees for like 15 minutes.
Oh, that must be nice.
It's fantastic. You should try it sometime.
Okay.
It's delicious.
All right.
The kids think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Eating Disney World chicken nuggets at home.
Why do you do things that hurt me?
Because I love you. Because you're awesome. That's what I was put on
Remember
this earth.
this
That's what I was put on this earth for.
to torture me.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to do one more Mardi Gras vlog.
Mardi Gras?
Yo, listen. I tried to do that.
Actually, I haven't
And they
been back
closed at
since
5.
opening day, so
Ooh, I was so mad.
I gotta edit my little Universal vlog that I shot on Friday.
yes, that will air Wednesday.
I gotta edit that. I shot like 5 minutes of icebreaker testing, so I was like, I'll throw that up. So why not? That was the first time I had seen icebreaker testing myself. So
That was the first time I ever saw Barry run really quickly.
It made me a little more excited for it, just not the backwards part.
Yeah. At least it's brief.
Yeah.
It's only 2 little spots that go backwards, and
it's straight too. It's not like I don't like backwards parts that like go,
And it's not slow either. That's
yeah. It should be a fun little coaster.
That's the thing that just why I will never ride Tigris ever again.
I thought you never went on it.
No, I finally did go on it the last time Clint and I were there.
Yeah, and he was like, "Not again."
I'm good.
So
I'm good. I don't need to go again.
Yeah, we don't like her that much.
Poor Tigris. So, alrighty, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the live stream. Thanks again for everybody coming.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. I have lips now.
Emily's done with her makeup, and I'm ending the live stream. Yay! Success.
You're welcome. I did not talk anyone through my tutorial.
Alrighty, guys. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. All right. Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Bye.
All that jazz.
Please do.
Watch the videos.
Bye.
Watch our videos for hours on end.
Do it. Just put it on in the background.
Just go to your phone and like start a video and just play it.
You don't even have to look at our faces. You don't even have to listen to us.
I would prefer you not look at my mugshot. So, anyways, see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.